Conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. Will you please stand for the prayer and the pledge?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together and work together for what's best for our community. Give us wisdom, give us patience and kindness. Help us to fulfill your greatest commandment, and that's to love each other as we love ourselves. I ask this in Christ's name and for his sake. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The November 13th Happy Trails Community Association Board meeting is now called to order. Darlene, establish a quorum, please.
Jennifer Ellswick,
Present.
Cindy Evans,
Present.
Cliff Giroux,
Present.
Fred Rand is absent, John Chilcote,
Present.
Chuck Garvey,
Present.
and Brad Vidka.
Present.
Thank you. Homeowner statement period guidelines. Speaking time. Each homeowner may speak once per motion for no more than 2 minutes. Virtual attendance. If attending virtually, please keep your audio muted. To speak, raise your hand, your virtual hand, and when recognized, state your name and lot number, just as you would if attending in person. Purpose. During an open meeting, members have the right to comment on a pending motion prior to the board's vote. This is a time for comments, not a question and answer session or debate. Relevance. Comments should be focused on the motion currently under formal discussion. Conduct. Negative or personal remarks directed at fellow residents, association employees, or members of the board of directors will not be permitted.
Thank you. Cliff, may I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I, Cliff Giroux, make a motion to approve the minutes from October 9th, 2025 Board of Directors meeting.
I second.
Directors, any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of approving the minutes? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Dave, would you please provide us with a financial update?
On the cash balances, the operating account at the end of September had $761,255. The reserve had $3,878,955. Activities, $301,994. Clubs, $160,286. Asset improvement, $1,375,091, and the reserve capital improvement, $1,029.
Cindy?
I move to accept the financials from September 30th, 2025.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Directors, do we have any questions? All in favor of accepting the financials as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Cindy?
I move to approve the Finance Committee charter.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Directors, do we have any questions about the Finance Committee Charter. Did everyone get an opportunity to review? Directors, no questions? Does anyone else have any questions about the charter? All in favor of approving the Finance Committee Charter, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Cindy,
I move to to approve the Finance Committee mission statement.
do I have a second?
Second.
Directors, any questions? Any questions from the owners? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. John,
I, John Chilcote, move to approve the Communications Committee Charter.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do the directors have any questions about this charter?
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of concerned about one couple of the statements. One, it doesn't talk about electronic or social media. It only mentions it in one spot, which is pretty prominent. Second one is it says that this committee serves at the direction of and the pleasure of the board. It really should be the pleasure of the members and the residents, not the board. The board also serves the residents, and it shouldn't be the other way around.
Directors, anything else? I would like to say that when I was reading it, there was one thing that I think might be a typo. It's 48 hours notice, not 72 hours. And I think that may have just been a typo. Is there anyone?
Wait a minute, I have one more thing. I'm going down my notes real quick. I think the mission statement should be more positive, and most mission statements should be 1 or 2 sentences and be more positive and reflecting the community. This looks like more of a responsibility instead of a true actual mission. And in the front steps, there is the old one that actually represents the communications committee better in showing that it serves the Happy Trails better than what this one says.
Right now, we're talking about the charter.
Under the paragraph under the charter, it lists mission statement.
Okay, so they are together. Thank you. You are correct. Thank you. Directors, anything else about the Communications Committee combined charter and mission statement? Owners, any questions, comments?
I'd like to say something. The Communications Committee started kind of from scratch. We talked to some of the leaders of the old committee, previous committee, and we decided that we wanted to start with a new mission statement and a new charter because the emphasis has always been on communicating via electronics and focused on that arena. And there are many people who do not communicate that way, don't receive their information that way. So we recognize that this is far from being perfect, but we purposefully brainstormed and started from scratch trying to figure out how is the best way to engage and inform and help the community establish clear, consistent, effective communications channels for all the residents, not just people on email, and bring together communications from other stakeholders, management and board, and for the benefit of all. So recognize that this is not perfect. I second that.
If you are attending virtually and your dog is barking, please mute. Directors, anything else about the,
I have one other question is on the committee member shall sign the HTCA Code of Ethics. Which Code of Ethics is that? Is that the existing one?
I will answer that. There is not presently a code of ethics for volunteers and committee members. I'm going to make the leap that it was added so that when there is one, the committee members would be signing. John, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We talked to you and management. There was no enforce at that time. So whenever the new code of conduct comes available, we expect that everyone would sign that.
Thank you. Any additional comments or questions from the owners?
Mickey Aston, Lot 13. This is regarding the Communications Committee Charter and Mission Statement, correct? It's extremely difficult to hear what you're saying, Jennifer. You're very soft-spoken. So if I could ask just a little more volume, I could hear everybody else in the back. You're asking for owner input on this document, and the owners have not seen it. We don't know what it says. I don't believe there's a draft available for us to review. So I'm just saying if everybody else has seen it, I have not. So thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. I believe I was asking the owners if they had any questions about it or any questions about the mission statement. So thank you.
So yeah, my question was I haven't seen it, so I don't have questions yet.
Okay, thank you.
I believe there's a draft on front steps. It's not? Okay, disregard.
Okay. Any other director comments or questions?
Are we approving with 72 hours notice or 48?
I had my hand up.
All right, you scared me. Lisa Day, 1317. I have a concern on the charter if you have a statement in there about a document that has not even been approved by the board yet. I think it's a dangerous position to assume that members of any committee would sign a charter that speaks to a document that hasn't been approved yet. I think that's a very bad position. Thank you.
Directors.
Online.
Hi, Donna 379. I agree that maybe this should be tabled until the owners get to see that. Just my personal opinion.
Thank you, Donna.
Can it be removed and then accept it the way it is with it removed?
I believe you're asking, could the piece about the code of conduct be removed? And could it be corrected to 48 hours versus 72? John, would you, okay, let us vote on the motion on the floor as it was originally stated. All in favor of approving as originally stated, please signify by saying aye. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, online. I apologize, I cannot see the hands online.
Lot 1121, you can unmute.
Can we not hear this person?
Muting herself, so I don't know how to, every time I unmute it, she mutes it back, so I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
Wait.
What I said is that I didn't think it was proper to pass it without fixing it first. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, thank you. I will call for a vote for the motion as it was originally stated. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Nay. John, can you restate? Will you make a motion with the removal and the 48 hours, please?
John Chilcote, make a motion that we table this motion. Approve.
Brad was asking for a motion to approve with removal.
Oh, the removal of the paragraph about the code of conduct.
And the change to 48 versus 72 hours.
I make a motion that we remove the portion about the code of conduct and change the hours from 48 hours to 72 hours, or 72 hours to 48. Okay.
Directors, is there additional discussion on this motion?
I would request that this actually be tabled until it's posted and everybody has a chance to take a look at it first.
Don't post charters. I'm only curious because we do not post charters.
We can post a draft to let people know that what's available. It's listed as draft. And with other information like minutes, we are asking committees and everybody else to post a draft so everybody has a chance. I don't see why we're asking for a charter and the mission statement that it is posted as a draft to give our members a chance to read it and make comments prior to the next board meeting.
Okay, then should we then go back and ask that the other charter that we just approved be posted for everyone to read before?
I would agree with that.
So
I
in other
believe
words,
that all missions and charters should have a chance for people to review. But we've approved this one. This one has not been approved.
so we would have to go back and a new motion to post the one. What you're
I am
asking.
perfectly fine if everything should be listed as a draft prior to a motion coming on from the board. Both mission statements to stay consistent with all minutes and all agendas that we post ahead of time and list them as a draft.
Okay, then let's regroup slightly. We are now on the charter and mission statement for the Communications Committee. So, all in favor of what John stated, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Nay. Okay, so I am going to make this motion to eliminate confusion. I, Jennifer Ellswick, move to post the Communications Committee charter for review by the owners and table approval of this charter and mission statement until the next board meeting. All those in a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Is there any additional discussion on this?
Can we put it on, post it on the newsletter? Because after all, this is a communications charter, so.
No, it needs to be posted on Front Step like everything else, like agendas and minutes and everything else at this current time until the charter is passed.
Any other discussion by directors? Any discussion by owners?
Aaron Lot 536. So I know this is for communications, but I don't do front step. I will never do that kind of stuff. So I need to see it communicated in writing or an email or some other way that I can read it and all these things, because a lot of us don't do this front step stuff.
Thank you for your comment. Any other owner comments?
Debbie Heim, Lot 1157. I was asked to participate in the Communications Committee with some of their work, not necessarily on the committee, but having to do with communications. And I totally agree with the lady that was just up here. We need to be able to see it in writing, not just on front steps. I have tried to get front steps ever since it first came out. I still cannot get front steps. So, thank you.
I would like to ask the owners and the people attending to please not applaud. This is a meeting, not a performance. Thank you. Stop, please stop. No applause, please. Okay, right now, the motion is that the owners will have an opportunity to review the Communications Committee Charter and Mission Statement. It has not been determined how this review will take place. So let us vote on the motion, and then let us take into consideration as a board all of the comments so that it can get out there to everyone, for everyone to see. So, any other comments on the actual motion? A vote. All those in favor, and I'm going to say this one more time, all those in favor of having the Communications Committee Charter and Mission Statement available to the owners to review by whatever means will reach all of them, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now we will go back and we will regroup on the approval of the Finance Committee Charter. And in order to hopefully simplify this, I move to rescind the motion to approve the Finance Committee Charter. Do I have a second? Would there be any additional discussion from the board? All those in favor of rescinding, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. New motion. I move to have the Finance Committee Charter available for the owners to review by the best possible method before the board takes a vote at the next board meeting. Is there any discussion from the board?
Don't you need a second?
Thank you, Chuck.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay, so all those in favor, all those in favor of having the Finance Committee Charter available for review by the owners by best possible method, please signify by saying
Aye.
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 opposed. Thank you. Okay. Now back to possibly where okay, thank you. Yes, it was a separate motion. Okay. I move to rescind the motion to approve the Finance Committee mission statement.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
New motion. I move to have the Finance Committee mission statement available to all members for review by best available means before the board votes on it.
I second it.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Darlene? Chuck, I believe you're up.
I'm next.
You're
Okay. I, Chuck RV, move to approve the Chase the Ace Card Club as a non-charter club.
I second. Is there any discussion on the board for approving a new club as a non-charter club? Do any owners have any comments or questions about this new card non-chartered club? I will call for the vote. All in favor, please signify by saying
Aye.
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 thank you. John,
I, John Chilcote, move to approve the Communications Committee request for purchase and installation of a 55-inch TV at the entrance of the mail center for a cost not to exceed $1,500 plus $120 annually for digital signage software to be paid out of the operations fund.
do I have a second?
Second.
Directors, John, I know that you have a lot of additional information. Would you like to share that before the directors ask comments?
Yes, this is one of the efforts of the Communications Committee to be able to provide current relevant information to those who do not go on the front steps or get emails, that sort of thing. This is one of among 3 or 4 efforts that we've started to communicate. And so this will be outside the post office, and it'll be on a loop, and current information such as the newsletter and bulletins and other association information will be provided. It'll be controlled by the Communications Committee and management, and we're also seeking the vendors' help in getting this available on your home TV so that you can bring it up on your TV and have, for those of you who were here 20 years ago, remember channel 1 or 2 or 20, I don't remember which one it was, but it played current information from the association. So we're trying to get that kind of information out there so that you can actually watch it in your living room.
Directors, do you have any questions about this?
I have major concerns of where it's being located right next to the post office, where there's a lot of crowded people going in and out of there. There's also where I'm thinking it's going, right next to the door. It's right next to this button that people are trying to get in and out. And if people are standing around and people are watching it and people are going in and out, I think we're going to have an ADA possibly compliance because people cannot get in and out with walkers and wheelchairs. And with the safety of the way the pole is listed and people getting around 55 inches, you're going to have to stand far enough back to actually read it. I'm also concerned about the theft of it. It doesn't list anything about protecting the TV for any theft, that we've had theft before on TVs. And the last thing, I don't see any power or Wi-Fi connections, that this is going to run on a continuous basis. So that's my safety concerns of the crowd, because that is a busy corridor of people packing packages and getting out with mail and not paying attention who's right there. And it's bad enough with just one door. And I think a TV is too much.
Any other board concerns?
The
comments,
other
questions?
question that I have is that you have estimates. Do you have any quotes for the support or for the mounting or any of that other things?
I talked to the Geek Squad and they said they could mount it for within this price range and give us the technical support to set up the communications. The power is available in the wall there. It was added there specifically for this purpose. It's available just inside the door. And so the installation cost would include tapping into that, putting in a plug, and they will look at how to best protect the TV weather-wise. So, you know, I'm not an expert in this area, and so the vendor would be. In terms of safety, that was a consideration, but we didn't see a lot of people standing out and going in and out continuously. So a 3-minute loop is not going to keep a lot of people there very long. So, but we are certainly open to other places to install it. But you don't want to install it back like at the PAC, because if you're going to get your mail, you're not going to walk all the way over to the PAC to get your current information. So we'd have to look at where else power is available and what makes sense. So we're certainly open. You know, this is open to dialogue.
Well, just remember, we did this once before and they were all stolen. So we need to make sure that we take care of that so it doesn't happen again.
Darlene, was anything stolen?
Was that factual information?
As far as I know, they were removed. They were not stolen.
How do you have this information that they were? But Cass, who told you that? Is management aware of
The
any
old
theft?
TVs are still here. They're not smart TVs, so we can't reuse them. I think they're still here somewhere. That's what Dave said.
I know that the TVs that we had up were removed purposely by maintenance and us.
And they are still here.
Correct.
But John, you cannot use them because they are not smart TVs. Okay, so we have the ones that, and when I moved here, they were up. So we had the ones that were up. They were removed by maintenance. That's how they were taken down. And currently they cannot be used because, and John, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we cannot use the current TVs because they are not smart TVs and they require a computer to each TV to continue the loop. Is that correct?
Right. The TV that we're proposing is an internet-capable TV. You can hop onto the internet that's available. No wires are needed to go to the modem. And so the office computers can talk to the TV across the internet. There's no wiring of it that's necessary.
So basically, we couldn't use the old ones because that technology was not available. Okay, thank you.
Some of the old ones have also been used elsewhere. We've replaced some of the other TVs with the older ones. So we have reused some of the older TVs. They're just not smart TVs.
Okay, thank you. Directors, are there any additional questions?
Have we run this up the finance flagpole? Have we gotten any input at all from finance? Because once again, we're looking to approve something out of the operating budget, which is in the budgeting process was really slim.
No, we actually have not. We are solely ignorant about this whole process. So we talked about this at the planning meeting and it was assigned to the operating budget. So What are you saying, Cindy?
I'm just saying that we have to be very cognizant of our budget because we're already approving things out of the operating budget. And I know this is $1,500, but it's,
I am certainly sensitive to that. Okay. All right. So
Okay,
we could back up another month and go through that step.
okay, there is a motion. There's a motion with a lot of discussion. John, would you like to amend the motion to table it until the next meeting?
Yes, I'll amend the motion to table it, and we will look at another site as a possible alternative. And we will check and make sure that none of the TVs in the past were stolen. And we will get with the finance committee and make sure that there's budget for this. And we'll bring it back later.
Do I have a second to the amended motion?
I second it.
Okay. Any other owner or any other board discussion? Okay, I call for the vote to table this motion. All those in favor? No. Just
I had my hand raised. Okay.
Who's first? Mickey Aston, Lot 13. I've been an owner for 40 years. There used to be TVs in the NC1 and NC1, and they were stolen. So TVs have been stolen. I don't know about the ones that were at the mail center or the PAC. I know they disappeared. I don't know where they went. What type of information will be displayed on the TVs that's going to be different than your bulletin boards? Because you've discussed with your committee about putting paper copies up for those who don't have computers. I think that was the reason for the TVs, was people who don't use computers or a phone. So as I'm standing there looking at the TV scrolling, what type of information will I be absorbing? I don't think you can answer my questions, John, sorry. What's going to be unique about that information? Am I going to be able to capture meeting times, bulletins? Who's going to update the information? I believe it's going to be Michael Cavalier, part-time employee, and you said it's going to be updated information, so he's part-time. And I like the idea of it working on an app, like a phone. I would possibly access that over Front Steps. And the ongoing cost of maintaining it with the employee has to be considered. And Cindy, what you said about budget, that was going to be my second question. This wasn't budgeted in the operations budget, and it's already been overspent this year quite a bit. Is there another method to share information with non-computer people? And how many people don't have a computer or a phone that don't get the email blasts on Friday? I know Front Steps is not friendly, but I believe there was 40 people who didn't have an email address during the last election. So I'm not sure that this would justify the cost for a handful of people without a survey.
Thank you, Mickey. We will hold, since this has been tabled, the board has voted to table this until the next meeting. So let's move on. I call for the vote on tabling this until the next meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. Brad, I believe you're next.
I, Brad Midkiff, move to approve owner's DRC application to install pre-manufactured shed.
Is there a second?
second,
Directors, is there discussion? Owners, any, hang on, hang on. Go ahead, Brad.
The reason it was denied in the DRC is because it's pre-manufactured and those aren't allowed in here. So it was denied in November.
Okay, Donna, 379. What type of pre-manufactured shed? Are we talking tough sheds? Are we talking anything to be one basic color? Are we talking one basic size? What are we talking? Because, I mean, I know that it was denied before. Why all of a sudden it is up again? Just asking.
Brad, do you know?
Because it's pre-manufactured and it's against our laws in here, our rules for a pre-manufactured shed.
Oh, well, the owner has a right to, even if they denied it in the committee, to appeal it back to the board. So that's basically what's the step is now, is that the committee denied it, they appealed the denial to the board. So that's basically where it's at right now.
So. it is in
Jennifer,
the
I have
DRC
somebody
guidelines
online.
that we allow no manufactured. So it is in the DRC guidelines that there are no manufactured sheds allowed at Happy Trails. Correct, Brad? Thank you. Therefore, it was denied in the DRC committee. And part of the appeals process, if something is denied by DRC, is that the owner has the opportunity to come to before the board. And that's where we are, as Chuck stated. So, any other owner?
I have somebody online.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to comment that part of the denial too is that the Gorilla sheds are composite plastic and that they cannot be ground set according to the manufacturer or it voids the warranty.
Can you state your name and lot number, please?
Yes, 1121.
Your name?
Michelle always refers to me as 1121.
Well, can you state your name for the meeting, please?
Sure. Mrs. Yakovlev.
Thank you.
Okay. I will call for the vote. If the motion is to approve the owner's DRC application to install a pre-manufactured shed. All those in favor? Opposed?
Yes.
Motion does not carry. Chuck, I believe you are next. Chuck?
Okay. I'm going to do the same thing that we did with the missions. I am going to just ask that this be tabled because this is the new investment and policy to the next board meeting. Can
you state your motion?
Oh, I'm
say
sorry.
That you want to table?
Sure. I, Chuck RV, move to table the HTCA investment policy until the next board meeting, until it's posted for everybody to review in the same, whatever you had said earlier, in whatever method possible.
I second it.
Thank you. Directors, any additional discussion? Are there any owners?
Yes. Lauren and Joyce, you can unmute.
We cannot hear anyone. All in favor of tabling this until the next board meeting, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
I don't,
Someone else keeps voting. Is that Fred? If that's you, please state so. If not, we ask that you not vote on our motions, please.
It's me again. I, Chuck Harvey, move to approve to allow the funds to be borrowed from the reserve fund money market account to pay back the borrowed funds with CDs from the operating fund.
do I have a second? Chuck, would you like to further
Sure.
explain, please?
Basically, this motion is basically just a balance sheet transfer. The motion is recommended to allow to be borrowed from the reserve money market account and be paid back with operating CDs that the result, right now we have currently 3 CDs that we're looking at, but this is an ongoing thing. This proactive motion allows the funds to be available from operating expenses as needed. It's basically a movement of funds on our balance sheet, which is done on a same day CD continuing to be held at maturity, but is now being in reserve funds. The finance will be moving the short-term funds to operating and long-term funds to reserves. This motion is specifically for these funds only. There is some large expenses coming up, like insurance, that could stress our liquid position in our operating accounts.
Directors, any questions, comments?
So this is just a paperwork shuffle, correct?
This is just basically a paperwork shuffle and column shuffle between one column to the next.
So any gains on those CDs, will those stay in reserves?
Yes. I had to make sure I said that correctly.
Directors, any other questions? Owners, comments, questions? I will call for the vote. Michelle, do we have anything online? I am missing that because I cannot see the hands. I apologize. Thank you. Call for the vote. All in favor of allowing funds to be borrowed from the reserve fund money market account and to pay back the borrowed funds with CDs from the operating fund? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you.
I move to approve removing the reserve items valued at $7,500 or less from the reserve fund component listing.
Do
I
have a
second it.
Owner, directors, questions, comments?
How are we going to address these items when they go to zero life? We're going to increase the operating budget so we can have funds to pay for them?
Schmidt, Finance Committee Chair. We're gonna, next year, we'll look at our budget and we'll look at increasing the budget. This year, or last year, we spent about 2,000 of the 50,000 we set aside when we did this with items of 5,000 and less. So now going to 75, and this year we've spent less than 5,000, I believe, to date. So we've had some experience with it, and now it makes sense to go to the $7,500 level. So we will adjust the budget if we feel we need to. So, and I think we would need to.
Angie, do you want to stay for just a second in case thank you. Directors, are there any additional questions about this?
When this was reserved, was looked at it, raising it up to 7,500. Becca did a good job and listed that it really is going to be, the only thing that's moving over into that level is about $292,400 by raising it up. So it's all the small dollar under 5,000 or under 7,500. And most of it, when you look at the line items, it's like the fountain pumps and this kind of stuff that'll just go to end of life and be replaced by operating anyway.
Thank you.
What was the amount originally that we're changing it from?
We're moving over about 292,000, is that?
Well, what I'm saying is it's 7,500. What was it before that? Was it 5,000?
5,000.
They tried it at 5,000 for all the things under that. The committee went back and forth between 5,000 and 10, and we decided the next step should be 7,500 just to see how it goes.
Directors, any additional questions or comments?
Will a list live on of those items so that there's some awareness of what they are and they stay on somebody's radar?
Yeah, so my understanding, Brad, is I think BG&M are going to keep a list of the items, correct?
Correct, correct.
Yes, so there'll be a living document noting those items.
Are there any owner questions?
Becca Paulson, Lot 1424. Since I'm the one that put this program together, I thought maybe I should come up and talk about it a little bit. We started this 2 years ago on the Finance Committee. We had items listed on our reserve component listing that were less than $2,000. Our operating budget is over $4 million. That really doesn't make any sense. For a good business practice, I was a CPA, I've done this for a really long time. We should actually be at 10,000 or higher, but we're doing it a little bit at a time so we can adjust our budget accordingly. I wanted it to go to 10,000 this year. We compromised at 7,500. So anything less than $7,500 doesn't mean it's going to happen every year. It means once every 5 to 10 years, one item may go haywire and we have to replace it. There should be sufficient funds in the operating fund to pay for those items. We will be looking again we'll see how it goes. We'll look again next year to hopefully bring that to $10,000 where it actually should be.
Thank you, Becca. Are there any other owner questions, comments? I would like to just reiterate that Chuck said 282,000, but what Becca said is that these would be items hitting zero life over a lot of years. Please don't think that we're going to be looking at 282,000 in a given year. Also, just to reiterate a little bit about what Angie said, 1 year it was only $2,000 and the next year $5,000. So it's not that all of these items are going to hit at one time and be coming out of our operating budget at one time. It is simply a housekeeping to make our reserve line item components more realistic. Okay, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
I have a comment.
Aye.
Whoever is speaking when I call for a motion, please stop. Thank you.
I had my hand raised and you didn't call on me.
You can go ahead and unmute and talk.
Thank you. Jerry Yak, 1121. I want to make a comment. I think it's inappropriate for Becca, a member of the committee, the Finance Committee, to speak negatively about her committee's decision when it was made as a committee. I think that's inappropriate. Thank you.
I don't think Becca was being negative at all. I think we were talking about what is best and how we can make this, work without going to a higher level. Just to do it, and maybe it's my insecurity, but I want to do it in incremental so that we're not doing it all at once. And by the way, there is 50,000 currently in our budgeted for these types of items. So it's not that big change.
Thank you, Angie. And we have already passed this motion. There will be no additional discussion. Thank you. Chuck, I believe you're next. Thank you.
I, Chuck Harvey, move to approve the recommendations from the Finance Committee to look into investing smart thermostats for the Sawmill, Town Center, NC1, and NC2.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Directors, would you like to
Sure.
elaborate?
Basically, during our discussion, one of our committee members reviews the utility bills and the fluctuation on when the air conditioning or whatever the HVAC happens. And we're noticing that, and there's been discussion about people changing the thermostat like in this room and this kind of stuff. So one of the recommendations that came from reviewing the utility bills is if we can have some kind of a smart, I mean, it's just a recommendation from the finance, a smart thermostats and this kind of stuff that's controlled not from the thermostat, but from other source.
Chuck, I do have a question. You are recommending that this goes to BG&M committee for review?
We're just recommending that it's just a recommendation from the finance. Where it goes to the next step is really up to the board on the next steps. Finance is just recommending to help save our utility costs. It's something, some kind of a smart thermostat. So it could go, if we need to, I can revise it to go to BG&M. I can do whatever. We're just trying to recommend to help reduce the cost of our HVAC utilities.
I guess what I'm asking is you're making a recommendation, which I think is a good idea, but I think it needs to go somewhere to be reviewed rather than just approving your recommendation.
And I'm fine with that. We're just, so if I can change this, that the finance recommends that this goes to BG&M for further consideration.
Do I have a second to the amendment?
I second it.
Directors, are there any other questions about this? Owners, are there any questions about this motion? Michelle, thank you. I'm going to call for a vote on the amended motion that Finance Committee reviewed this and is recommending that to help with utility costs and to control utility costs, that the BG&M Committee put on their agenda to look into smart thermostats for the Sawmill, Town Center, NC1, and NC2. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Cliff.
I, Cliff Drew, make a motion to rescind the motion to approve the proposal from Poolsure to repair to the crack in the Town Center pool for the amount not to exceed $70,000 to be paid out of the reserves item number 1202.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Cliff, would you like to give some background to why we're rescinding, please?
Well, we still haven't really figured out exactly what it is. So there's no sense moving forward until we find out where the leak is, what it is, how bad it is. And we're actually getting into a season where it's getting a little late to do it this year. So just feel like it's needs to be tabled.
One other added feature is that Tuesday we will be shutting down the pool and we will be doing investigation with an outside company. They're going to come in and dye check and also pressure test the piping. So we are moving forward, but we don't feel that we have to go all the way just yet. We want to find out, number one, what's wrong, and number two is how bad is it?
Brad, didn't you do some measuring already, some checking on that? And that the leak isn't as bad as what we thought
What,
it was.
it's just a visual, just because of the makeup water that goes into it is just a trickle at this point. I did talk to the maintenance that takes care of it, and he said during the summer he was adding water through the fast fill for a couple months, but he hasn't had to do that for the last 2 or 3 months. So I feel that was evaporation. So we are pursuing it, but we want to make sure that we're doing it right for the amount of money that we're going to be using.
Any other director questions? Are there any questions from the owners? Thank you, Michelle. I will call for the vote to rescind the motion to repair the pool until we are sure of what we're repairing.
Do we need to do a roll call because there was dollar figures subtracted?
It's a rescind. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Chuck, I believe you are up again.
I'm next. I, Chuck Harvey, move to approve to fund the Villa flood mitigation expense from the asset improvement fund to reimburse operating funds for the cost.
Do I have a second for this motion? Chuck, would you like to give a little discussion, please?
Okay, the finance recommends that the board of Happy Trails approve the request to fund the Villa fund mitigation expense from the asset improvement funds. The discussion was held in regarding the Villa mitigation costs from the asset improvement fund to reimburse the operating fund for the estimated cost of $130,000.
So at this point, the recommendation on the motion
Is to reimburse, to take this expense from the asset improvement and reimburse back to the operating fund.
Can we please have a dollar amount on this motion?
$130,000.
Okay, so the motion, do I have a second to adding the dollar amount to the motion?
Second.
Thank you, Cindy. Is there any discussion by the board?
Well, even though I made the motion, I am not always comfortable about moving funds around after the fact. If it was originally taken and not mentioned at the original board meeting to take out the $130,000, it should remain in the operating fund, noted in the operating fund that this was an emergency and that it needed to be done.
Directors, do I have any other comments?
Are these expenses from this fiscal year or anticipated in this fiscal year?
Can you hear me? I think this was from probably primarily before this fiscal year, right, Brad? So this is, we've already spent the money. The concept is to reimburse operating with that significant amount of money. I mean, we're one entity. I know Chuck doesn't agree with it, and that's fine. But we're one entity, and we're just moving it from, an asset improvement fund to operating, so the operating doesn't, fall into a dire situation at some point. But we do have other options, but I mean, I think it's a good option for that.
Cindy, could you state I don't think everybody heard your comment.
My comment was a question actually asking if it was funds from this fiscal year or anticipated funds for this fiscal year or prior year funds. And I think Angie answered that.
Okay, directors, any additional comments? Owners. Michelle, do we have anything online? Thank you.
Mickey Aston, Lot 13. I'm not opposed to moving the money and using the asset improvement funds for such a project. I'm just not clear, had the money already been spent by operations, which I think is what Cindy was trying to explain to me. The money has already been spent by operations and we are just reimbursing the operations budget, moving it from AI over to operations.
That is correct.
Okay. And it was approved in last year's operations budget, or it was not? It was an overspend? It's never been budgeted. Thank you, Angie. It had never been budgeted, but it was spent, and we're going to cover that cost from AI. Okay, I just needed to be clear. I think the villas need help with their flood issues.
Thank you, Mickey.
Barb Fugelberg, Lot 205. I would just ask that whenever money is requested out of the asset improvement fee, that the board refer to the board resolution that was created and how the funds would be spent out of the asset improvement fee. When that amendment was made to the CCNRs a number of years ago, the way that we got it passed was that we made it clear to the residents that we'd not be using it as a slush fund. And there is a board resolution that clearly defines when those dollars can be taken out of it. I would see that this would fall under the category of a new project since it wasn't something under reserves to begin with. But initially how you're supposed to spend it is that if something in reserves is going to cost, if the reserve fund says it's going to cost 500,000 and the bid comes in at 600,000, you can take 100,000 out of the asset improvement fund to compensate for that. The final caveat is the final. So I would just ask that whenever you make a recommendation like this, you clarify that you're following the board resolution.
Thank you, Barb. Any other owner comments or questions? There is a vote. I'm going to call for the vote. It is a dollar vote. Therefore, it will be a roll call. And the motion is to move the villa flood mitigation expense from the asset improvement fund to reimburse operating for the costs in the amount of 130,000. Thank you.
Okay, Cindy Evans,
No.
Cliff Giroux,
Yes.
John Chilcote,
Yes.
Chuck Garvey,
No.
Brad Midkiff,
No.
Jennifer Ellswick.
No.
Motion does not pass. Thank you. Vote of 2 to 4.
I, Jennifer Ellswick, move to table the removal of Class A motorhome requirements in the ranch from the DRC guidelines and rules and regulations. Do I have a second for this motion?
I second it.
I wish to give a little bit of background on why I wish to table this motion. Just this morning, the directors received a lot of data on this particular motion, and they have not had an opportunity probably to even read it, let alone actually analyze it. So I believe that this motion is best tabled until the directors have an opportunity to review all of the information. That said, I would like to state that the association's legal counsel has reviewed part of the information, and that recommendation is that Happy Trails Community Association is putting themselves in jeopardy by having restrictions of a particular type of recreational vehicle for one section of Happy Trails and not the rest of Happy Trails. So That was the initial analysis, but there is review that needs to be done based on new documentation today. So all in favor of tabling this motion until we can review more information, please signify by saying aye.
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 I abstain. Basically, we tabled it. I'm going to state it right up front. I, as a director, apologize the way this has been handled myself. I feel bad. I have received comments from you guys, and I feel that I got a kick in the butt to remind myself that I represent you guys, that I'm not in a shallow, that I'm not just in a small group. So I apologize as a director.
And I second that.
I believe that all of the directors are in agreement with Chuck that there needs to be more research before anything can be done with this particular motion.
And I also would like to give you guys the opportunity, if you want me to come down to the ranch and sit down and have what I call a fireside chat, I am more than willing to do it. Just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
No, because it's been tabled, so sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. President's announcements. I wish that everyone can enjoy Thanksgiving with family and friends, and if they are traveling, to travel safely.
I also would like to say I have a happy Thanksgiving, safe travels for all that are leaving the resort, and for ones that are staying. We welcome you to stay and hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with family and friends. Thank you.
The November 13th Happy Trails Community Association Board of Directors meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all for attending.
To you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring